Good morning. I see Steve is in here. Glad to see you this morning, Steve. And no one else is here yet. And I know I started a little early, but as you can tell, I'm not using StreamYard right now. This is straight YouTube. So if anybody has a problem hearing me, let me know. Oh, there's even a share screen here. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Thank you, cuz. Yeah, I ran out of time when I went to set this up, and it wouldn't let me do it on StreamYard, so I said, heck with that, I'll go the old-fashioned way. Let me try something here. Oh, okay. Just about do everything that you can on StreamYard. Good morning, Andy. Good to see you this morning. Yes, I can't figure out how to get rid of the top fans. I'll have to figure that out later. Let's see, we got 2 thumbs up and 2 people in here. How's everything going in your area, Andy? Well, it's got you put as number 2. You were number 1, then you're fighting with Andy for first place. But that's cool. If you want to, you can. You already gave thumbs up, but if you want to share us out and bring more people in, that's fine too. Andy says she don't know. She just woke up. Um, I know today we're going to be talking about what are you prepping for? Now, most of us is prepping for winter because that's the next season that's coming. And that means making sure that your animals are blocked from the wind. Then they'll have getting your systems up for cold weather, bring in the last of your summer harvest. And you know, the harvest moon is Monday, and it's supposed to be a super moon too. And see, I got my egg earrings on today. During Renfest, I was wearing the wishbone earrings. And you got one last video of Renfest coming in tomorrow, and that's going to be us trying to get out of there. Because that was a whole experience. There's no way I would have been able to walk to the car. Yes, Andy, you do need to dig the water bowls out before it gets cold. Good morning, Christopher and Angela. And Christopher saying, "Shine on, Harvest Moon." Sung by Leon Redbone will be played here on Monday. Then, yep. Good morning, Matt. I cannot on this. I can't highlight on the screen. what you guys are saying. That's the only difference on between StreamYard and YouTube Studio. I went to the Ren Fest and I lasted as long as I could. Then between the heat and the exhaustion, it takes a lot out of you. Christopher, I hope you're recycling those leaves. That makes great compost, you know. And depending on the trees, you know, the maple leaves, along with the birch and any that you can use the sap for, make syrup with. You can also harvest the leaves once they change color. You can fry them up. So he says if he was meant to rake leaves, they wouldn't keep falling. And if you guys notice, Matt's been going live. Just all of a sudden, you'll see him live, and hope you can catch him when he goes in. Matt, are you going live tomorrow morning? And there's CR. Good morning, CR. Hey, being random is okay. Okay, so like I said, you can eat some of the leaves once they change colors. You wash them, and then you can fry them up, and they're good eating. They say. I haven't tried any. Of course, there isn't very many maple trees in this neighborhood, and my leaves haven't started turning yet. Good morning, Katie. Let's hope you get at least an hour before the kids wake up. And remember, you guys, if you're eating pumpkins, you can save those pumpkin seeds for natural dewormers for your birds and other animals. Yes, Katie, we can always hope for the best. We can expect the worst, but always hope for the best. I'm debating whether I'm going to be putting plastic on these windows or not. That I have to check into. But I do like the light when I open up the curtains. Okay, so you got, like Andy says, she's got to dig out her water bowls. Because those are easier to do than otherwise. And Katie says she feels like this weekend fall came right in. Not here. Yes, Andy, it's hard to find the actual clear plastic. They usually have a little opaque to them. Um, but even that is would be better than nothing. I'm debating on whether I should believe the forecast that they're expecting us to have a hard winter, or if I do like I did last year. I do have the curtains up, so at least it'll be keeping the nighttime cold out. Because these are some heavy blackout curtains. In fact, the window I have open, I got the curtain pulled up so that where the window's open at, it's not blocking the way. Steve says he always used 3M window film. It came with tape and would stretch tight with a hairdryer. Bit more pricey, but worth it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm debating still. These are supposed to be double pane windows, but they don't have the gas in them. That much I know. Oh, you're on the phone with Lissy. Okay, CR. Last time I bought a big roll of plastic, but I left it at the old place when I moved. I still have to debate on what I'm going to do. Because these windows are weird shaped too. Thing is, my door doesn't seal closed. You get air coming in through the door, but anything you put up would help the draft. Uh, any projects you want to get done before winter, you're going to have to bear down and start at them now. Yeah, but I'm not going to put cardboard on my windows. But of course, also, not much windows for it to do much. Christopher says when he lived in an apartment, he was real. He lived in a middle apartment, so he kept the heat down or off. Those upper and lower apartments heated me. Yeah, that's fine and dandy. I got a little gnat bugging the heck out of me. There, I got it. Oh, Matt says now it's crunch time. He was canning all day yesterday. Yeah, I seen where you guys were doing your harvest. That little short you did on the harvest. When I had the upstairs apartment, Christopher, my winter bill was no worse than it was in the spring. But here, this is the bottom apartment, so they steal all my heat. And, radiator, electric heat is not very good. So I'm going to have to rearrange my apartment because I need to put the freeze dryer here where the computer is, put the computer where the freeze dryer is, because this area doesn't have any heat at all. And the freeze dryer keeps the chill off this area when I'm running the freeze dryer. That's what they're advertising for this area, Matt, is that we're going to have a harsh winter. But we will see. I know my radishes are looking good. Sierra might see below freezing. Well, I know we're going to get below freezing in Ohio. Even though I'm in the southwest Ohio, we still get, oh, at least a week of that terrible cold where the high is lucky to be in the 20s. Yeah, like she says, they say the north is colder and wetter than normal, and the south is supposed to be warmer. Yeah, but the south's supposed to be warmer and more drought like. Good morning, Mike. Okay, you don't get until, oh, I guess in New Mexico, Matt says it'll drop below freezing mist of January here. I can remember one year, and I was up in Oregon, Ohio, which is right next to Toledo, Ohio. And December was really bad. Snow, cold, freezing rain, all that stuff. Then January and February and March was like spring. Trouble is that year we didn't have a winter and we didn't have much of a summer either that year. Christopher says having good thermal base layer makes a huge difference. I used a spandex polytype blend that traps heat and is very movable and stretchy. Weather for Wilshire. Conditions are sunny with a temperature of 72. The wind is blowing from the southwest at 5 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 69%. It was 55 when I got up today. Franklin, the conditions sunny with temperature of 69. The wind is blowing from the south-southwest at 2 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 83%. And for Albuquerque, conditions are partly cloudy with a temperature of 62. The wind is blowing from the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour, and current humidity is 44%. Yeah, but if you type CR, if you type weather and then your city, it should give us your weather report or the city nearest you. Type weather is zip to get Verna's. Oh, y'all. Thank you, Matt. I love how you did that. You know, there was a time that my name was Verna Hall. That was before I met my belated husband. In fact, that was the name that I ran for city council in Toledo for years ago. Matt, I'm going to have to talk to you later because I haven't figured how you did the recaps on your live streams. Let me see if I can find something to share with you guys. Oh, I want to find it. Now, if you've seen the Run Fest, and you've seen the videos where my grandson had his hair done and everything, let me show this to you. Here's a henna tattoo he had done. And see how they did his hair? It was really nice. A slider to turn. Okay, I don't see how to do that here. And just a minute, I'll show you my daughter's tattoo. Here's her tattoo. Right there. Thank you, Matt. That would be great. Yeah, so those were really cool. Yeah, because I'm looking all over here and I haven't been able to find anything. Yeah, so see, when you don't use StreamYard, you can still share your screens. It's just that you can't invite anybody up. 6 people here and 5 likes. I thank you very much for all the likes. Let me see what other pictures I got. Okay, Sierra. I know you and Howie both use period. That means you're still here listening. Let me see. Um, have you checked it out yet, Matt? They want almost $500 for the cheapest plan for StreamYard. That's too much. That's more than I afford. Yeah, it's 460 something dollars. I know they are. Yeah. Now let me see if there's anything else here. In West Plains, conditions are sunny with a temperature of 66. The wind's blowing from the southeast at 4 miles per hour. Current humidity is 77%. Agree, Matt. I'll agree. I'd like to know where these little gnats are coming from. Berna is viral. Just being online, you're viral, but I don't have the massings. I'm not really making much money on this at all. I don't make anything from YouTube. I make it from people buying me coffee. But back to getting ready, prepping. What are your main concerns right now? What are you prepping for? Is it just for the winter or okay? Sierra's prepping for winter. Pay to be on YouTube, it all helps. Yeah, Matt, I'm with you. Pretty sure I pay to be on YouTube. LOL. Helps the sanity though. Yeah, it keeps us sane. It helps us connect with other people of like mind. Oh, Katie's prepping for spring quail plans, trying to figure out what colors and lines we want to keep and focus on. Yes. And another thing you may want to do is if you buy more chicks eh, to go with the lines that you want, I would advise you to get them from different areas so that way it widens out your breeding gene pool. Even if everybody started from the same breeder originally, their style of breeding their birds can make the variations different. Is anybody, does anybody have a fall garden going? We have birds from 5 breeders, all different colors and genes. I can't play Pokemon with them anymore. Oh, that is cool. Shara says it's 41 this morning where he's at. It was right around 50 when I got up this morning. I woke up about 45 minutes before my alarm was supposed to go off. So I got up at 6 this morning. I agree with you, Katie. 41 is cold. That would be coat and tennis shoes and socks time. I haven't got my shoes out of storage yet. And Steve says at 41 he starts his hibernation. And Annie says she woke up 5 minutes before I went live. Kitty wants to know what Steve's secret to hibernation is. Yeah, with all those grandkids around. Well, you guys, I'll be right back. You gotta get some more coffee. Back the light off. Echo light off. See what I miss. Good morning, Uncle Al. Yeah, what in the heck is going on up there? I think their dog upstairs is trying to dig through the floor. Christopher says, "Oh, I forgot. It's kind of rat season. Once it gets cold, the rats start sniffing around for loose animal feed. Got to keep an eye open." And Andy says she sees rolling tobacco. I think it's a dog because it sounds like nails scratching at the floor. Yeah, Uncle Al, Lucy is laying right here on the floor, right beside me. So that's another thing you have to prep for, Christopher. You have to start getting your protection out for those rats. Make sure that your feed is cleaned up and rat proof. Oh, you got 4 of them this morning, huh, Uncle Al? I don't have to worry about that. I got the bugs that I'm fighting all the time. Rats are bad by us this year, a true plague. We learned our predator-proof cages were not. Improvements are constant. Yes, Katie, that's one thing is you can learn where your weaknesses are during rat season. Yes, cheers with coffee. The thing is, that's what you got to do. You know, you change your predators as the season changes. The predators change, and as it gets colder, the predators get more determined. Oh, Uncle Al, you got the feral hogs. Making coffee, husband, and tea for yourself. Okay, Katie. And there's Farmals. Good morning, Farmals. So what you have to do is, yeah, because in the summertime, the predators aren't as big of a problem because there's plenty of game out for them to get. But you have to worry about them coming in when it's to get out of the cold and to go at they'll go at your animals more vicious. Okay, Andy says the coons get worse for her around March. And Katie wants to know if you trap the hogs, the feral hogs. Talk about wild hogs. If they do bad, we should not starve. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of countries that will eat the rats, even. So just having to think about what's the best way for you. Protein is protein. That's right. I know some people stick up their nose and say that the feral hogs or the wild boars are not tasty. Well, if you're used to commercial meats, nothing would be tasty. And there's a lot of people that will trap them. Some of them eat very, like on the boars, they'll only eat the back strap, but they stink so bad because of breeding and rutting. But food is food, is what I think. I'll make sausage for the church with the wild boars. That's good. Hey, chef. Good to see you this morning. Yeah, you can use a lot of Drunken Chef's rubs to spice up that sausage you make, Uncle Al. You should check out um, Drunken Chefs. And Chef, you can drop your store link so other people can buy it from you. Yeah, there we go. And Steve got it for you too. And you can always drop your links. Type explanation point quail and it'll drop your link. Al says, being a farmer kid, I'm prepared for everything. That's right. All homesteaders are preppers, but not all preppers are homesteaders. Each one has their own unique niche and depends on what you're prepping for. Andy says, you know how people donate deer meat for food banks? Well, they should do that with wild boars. I agree, Andy. But a lot of people just don't want to take the time to skin the boar and everything else and cut it up. Yeah, it is a skill, but now practice makes perfect. You can't learn something by just reading about it. You have to actually experience it. And that's how you hone your skills is by practice. And he says around there they take it to the meat processor and they do the work. CR says top of the hour for me, Vay. Alrighty, so that means you got about 15 minutes and then you gotta head out. I understand that. CR, go ahead and type in exclamation point and quail, the word quail, so everybody can connect with you if they haven't already. Everybody with the channel ought to do that. And I'm going to block my camera for a few minutes, but I'm going to still hear. So that way I can do what I usually hide and do with StreamYard. Katie said she had someone local tell me she was paying someone to process her 25 quail at $1.50 a piece. Oh, wow. You know what I would say, Katie? I would tell them that you do it for $1 each. That'd be a good way for you to make some extra money, and you know it doesn't take very long. You teach your students to teach Star Trek. I don't understand that, Uncle Al. Well, thank you, Katie. But yeah, if somebody's doing it for $1.25, tell her bring those birds to you. You'll do it for $1 a piece. And look at that. You have your extra skulls. You if they don't want the skulls, you can process those and sell those as crafting pieces. Um, yeah, if you learn from Ed Got Bait on how to nickel plate stuff, then you can nickel plate those skulls and sell them as earrings. There are so many things you can stack them up during the season. During the winter when you're not outside, you'll have a lot of things to do to generate income. Oh, Al says Star Trek has worse survival training. See how many red shirts die in every show. Exactly. Katie says, oh, nickel plated skulls sounds so metal. Yeah, it's just like the earrings I wore last weekend. No, I wore Wednesday. They were from Ed Got Bait. And he did them up special for me. Annie says she used to process rabbits for somebody for $5 a piece. Yeah, I could do all that myself. But they'd have to come get me and have to do it at their place because I can't do it at my place. You can nickel plate the actual feet once you dry them and everything. Then you can dry up put your wings through, just let the wings dry or freeze the wings, and you got dog treats. Yeah, and Katie, you know those googly eyes you can buy at the craft store? Put those in some quail skulls after you nickel plate them. It'd really be comical. Exactly, CR. But you can make a bundle if you're processing other people's birds or rabbits. Because with the rabbits, if they're old enough, you can save the hides. And the breastbone of quail, you can nickel plate those into earrings. Well, mine was silver, but you have the copper underneath and then the silver on top of it. So in the fall, you're prepping your farm for the winter, and you're also looking at ways to process things to give you things to do in the winter. Katie, the funny part is if you watched my Renfest stream about making friends and seeing a show, um, I met a woman at the festival, and she loved the ideas I gave her about making masks for her kids. You can make paper mache masks, or you can learn to plaster your kid's face with plaster of Paris, make some mold of their face. Yeah, I love that, CR. You do sewing with a needle and thread in the winter, and you do sowing of seeds in the spring. See, Katie, you should know by now that I'm always full of ideas. You just have to ask me the right questions. And Matt liked that, CR. Good morning, Dawn. Been a while since I seen you. And what are you prepping for, Dawn? Is anybody putting up the windbreaks for their animals? Yeah, that sound is right over that closet that where I got my food in that storage. That Uncle Al says he's teaching 2 classes today. Kukri training, I don't know what that is, Uncle Al, and survival kits. Oh, okay. Katie says they have a carport for the quail cages, so they just close the flaps. That's good. Dawn says she's doing the same. Still growing in the gardens, quail and rabbits. That is all for pupping right now. It's still been in the 90s. Yeah, but right now is when you look over things, Dawn, and plan for what you have to do before winter hits. Let me find out what that is. Let me see. Oh, I've got one of those with a bone handle. Something similar to that with bone handle. That's good, Dawn. One of these times I'm going to have to get my knife out and show it to you guys. But it's too hard for me to be able to get the container out and then put it back in while I'm on my. But mine's more like a horn handle or bone handle. I'm not sure which. I think it's a horn because it's more rough. But the knife is old. And Al is planting his winter garden. He's planting his winter garden. I already got radishes in. Oh, and I got to do a video about straining my fire cider. What's coming up on the 26th? Is that your birthday, Andy? Oh, our vanilla will be a year old. Yeah, I still got some packed away. That's cool. I already gave a bottle to my daughter. I gave a couple bottles out. But see, anytime I can strain my fire cider, because on the Wednesday it was 4 weeks old. So within the next 2 weeks, I got to strain it and drain it and stuff like that. You have a blessed day, Katie. That means my vanilla sugar's a year old too. Well, they almost lasted an hour, Katie, so you did good. Andy, have you started breeding your rabbits yet? Because as the weather cools, it's rabbit breeding season. Just in time for winter vanilla coffee for me. Don says I should be able to breed mine at the end of this month. You have a blessed day, CR, and thank you for stopping in. So Dawn's planning to start at the end of this month. Well, the cool air is supposed to be coming in next week, Dawn, so you can start any time then. Catching up on what everybody's saying. Andy says she should start trying to make some date nights for the girls. Yeah, you should start doing that, Andy, because they've had about a year off, from what I understand. Dawn says they won't be 6 months old until then. I just checked my weather and it's supposed to be cooler this week. I'll be in the garden when it's in the 70s and 80s. That will be great. Oh, Uncle Al is making pumpkin donuts for Sunday school. Are they the baked donuts or the fried donuts? Yeah, it's been a little over a year. Steve wants to know how much your rabbits weigh, Dawn. Oh, they're fried donuts, yes. I'm thinking I may, when the weather cools down a little bit, I may some pumpkin cheesecake. Dawn hasn't weighed them yet, Andy. Cheesecake. Yeah, but when you do it with when you add pumpkin to it, Matt, it makes it really good. You don't need no topping. And Steve wants cheesecake. The killer thing is I can make it. I make a good cheesecake without a crust. Yeah, well, when you make a pumpkin cheesecake, you don't need a topping. It's because the pumpkin's all through the cheesecake. Yep, we can do that. That's cool, Uncle Al. Yeah, you can make just about anything without a crust. Cut down the carbs and have a lot of protein. Yeah, because at Starfleet Academy, they don't teach you how to survive. It's full of sleep politics. Let me see what day is it going to be cool here? Check that out real quick. Let's see. Oh, Tuesday and Wednesday it should be, and Thursday should be nice. 71, 69, and 70. So we're going to have 3 cool days. I can get some bacon in. Yeah, but Andy, when you make a true cheesecake, you don't need a crust. You got that right, Uncle Al. They're great astronauts, bad survivors. They know what to do when they're in space and have replicators and everything else doing their food. But when they land on a planet, they don't know what to do. Yeah, that dog is upstairs digging. Al, you think about it. Starfleet Academy, they're more like modern kids now where they got the virtual reality and their nose in the screen. But when they have to face life, they don't know what to do. I need to get some more coffee. I'll be right back. Lucy, you make it hard for me to get up, baby. Oh, okay. Sorry it took so long. uh, Andy, what a lot of people are doing when their kids get too screen addicted is they'll change the phones to the old-fashioned flip phones, so the kids are not stuck in the into that trap. Uncle Al says, "See Star Trek Survival Kit, a tricorder, a survival kit pouch with ration bars and foil space blankets." Yep. And it's a child neglect all the way around. If the parents have it in their hands or the kids do. John says, "I've been thinking about pumpkin this time of year. Tried pumpkin spice coffee and didn't like it. I want a pie. LOL." Agree. I'd rather have pumpkin crustless pie than pumpkin pie spice coffee. Just add cinnamon and nutmeg and clove to your coffee and you make it yourself. Yeah, smartphones are today's tricorders. Yeah. Annie says she can't believe how many kids can't go to a restaurant without a screen in their face the whole time, or they will be screaming. I will give you my humble opinion, Andy. Any parent that lets their kids bring a smartphone to the dinner table are letting the smartphones be the babysitters. Just like when I was a kid, they were afraid that people were letting TVs babysit the kids. And I agree 100% with what Steve said. Because the only thing a kid really needs is a regular old flip phone to call home or call their friends. They don't need all that other BS. Get your kids enthused on what's going on in life instead of hiding from them. Dawn says her smartphone is her travel companion. I have to drive long distances alone. I couldn't do it without my phone. I had to go to Effingham 2 days ago and have to run to Tennessee on and off too. Yeah, because your smartphone is your GPS and everything else. Steve says he tells James his limits and he follows those limits to a T. Exactly. And Uncle Al says it's like the 1890s giving kids a shot of whiskey. Matt says KC's chasing the Silkies around right now. LOL. See, kids would rather, they need something to fill up their mind, perk their curiosity, and run with it. Same category as child neglect and abuse. No wonder why so many kids have behavior issues anymore. It's due to parents' phone use. Yeah, when when you can only connect electronically and can't do peopling, that's when problems really begin. Now, me, I just as often to leave my phone when I go for a walk, I leave my phone on my desk. And like Matt says, I've seen him do it. He tries and encourages building things, keeps the minds and hands busy. And it also tickles their creativity too, Matt. C says he went to visit some people. They had the phones in their hands the entire time. I'm not that boring. And I was gone 2 hours before they noticed I was gone. See, whereas I say, hey, if you're busy, I'll come back later or you can stop by my house. Dawn, I would have got up and left, unless they were my transportation. Yeah. Uncle Al says Star Trek's answer for survival is phasers, tricorders, and replicators. Yeah, Matt, you said it right. You're pretty interesting, Steve. That was their loss. You know, people are afraid to answer their kids' questions because, a child has why all the time. And the thing is, if they're afraid of showing their ignorance. I used to take my daughter to the library. If I couldn't answer a question, I said, well, let's go find out together. And we used to go to the library. Dawn says, I don't think I'd go visit them again. They would have to come to me. I'd have to think about that too because I couldn't leave, lol. Andy says, a phone and an arrow pointing at it saying the biggest abuser you know. Yeah. Let's give it to the kids. Andy, you can go on the site that Kelly used for quite a while and make some t-shirts that says that. C says he makes up answers to the why when he has to. There you go. Matt says Casey teaches me things and I listen and correct and guide. That's right. Uncle Al says he hands them a shovel and he has a lot of cows. Yep, because that stuff gets deep, don't it, Al? It would all depend on the question. Well, the easy thing to explain fog to a 3-year-old is tell him the cloud came down for a visit. C says his daughter, now 40, thought he was the smartest person ever when she was growing up until she learned I made most of it up. Yeah, Matt, I agree with you. You got 45 minutes yet, Lucy. Oh, you want to come up and say hi? Come on up. Lucy's saying hi, everybody. Yep, a cloud fell. Well, I don't say they fell down. I just say it comes for a visit. And it wasn't until I moved in this area that you can get ground fog. It comes up from the ground here. And Uncle Al said, hi, Lucy. You need a good brushing. Yes, you do. Maybe sometime today I'll take you out and brush you. And there's Drops. Good morning, Drops. How many smartphones with Al does it take to screw in a light bulb? Asking for a friend. Oh, Steve, I wouldn't do that. It would scare him. Okay, so cold weather is great for breeding rabbits. Balam. Balam. You are looking so intently into my eyes. Yeah, you are. We make fog by boiling water and drop in dry ice. It freaks out his grandniece. Yeah, that's stage fog. Matt says he could probably use his smartphone like a potato and smash the case into the bulb to remove a broken one. I didn't spell his own name right. Okay, you need brush too much. Look at this, you guys. That's just from rubbing my hand on her. I got a whole handful of hair. She needs brushed really bad. Yes, you've had enough. A herd shedding season is 365 days a year. 366 on leap year. Okay, off. Oh, that's a FedEx coming up here. I wonder who they're delivering to. You have a blessed day, Matt. Oh, they're delivering Chewy to somebody. Just a second. Last time they dropped off the Chewy box to my apartment, and I don't order from Chewy right now. Because I don't have quail or rabbits to order my feed from. Oh, so this is the season when you make up to make sure that all your animals make it through the winter by rodent proofing your feed and your animals, making sure they have a windbreak, making sure you have your things out for um, changing your watering system, because you water differently in the winter than you do in the summer. Then you have to make sure your house is winterized. Congratulations, Dawn. She's still hatching quail eggs, selling chicks and eggs, and trying to keep some for her to eat. Yep. Yeah, and you got to start making your rabbit dates next month, because we're still in the first week of fall. People keep asking me, so it's cheaper for me to buy chicken eggs than to eat your own. Oh, see, I always look the other way. Al, it's not just for Asian markets. You know, quail eggs have more of the B complex vitamins than chicken eggs do. Sure, it takes more eggs to make a recipe. But Uncle Al, I do have a video where I did a quail balut eggs, and they're pretty tasty. And Don Andy says it won't kill a rabbit to breed it a month early. She's going to start pickling some eggs, even though she can't eat them, because she has a good outlet in mind for them. That's good, thinking ahead. And are you giving your quail um, more lighting now that the lighting's gone down? Oh, yeah, you do yours 24 hours a day light, don't you? Well, it's okay for them being the dark 6 to 8 hours a day. Oh, you do them year round at 14 hours a day. That's good. Yeah, breeding them a month early isn't going to kill you. If it doesn't take, then you got another month to do it again. Do what? Remember each other, Dawn. Drop says he's just waiting on tomatoes to ripen in the garden. Then I'll be busy canning again. Cool. If I put them together today, then will they remember later on this month? Rabbits, if they don't mate when you first put them in together, then give them 12. Like if you do it in the morning, then do it in the evening just before you go to bed. Try it again, or the next day. Two or three fall offs. You should be good to go. And you always take the female to the male. Oh, yeah. Start date night tonight. Then you can try it again tomorrow morning. Have a blessed day, Al. Oh, no. You better get that checked out. That's right eye socket is leaking blood. You have a blessed day, Al. And get that checked. Oh, it's an old surgery? Yeah, but if it's leaking blood, you should, yeah, find out what's you can do. Take care of yourself above everything else. Oh. Get your blood pressure checked too, because sometimes that'll cause bleeding. Oh, you have surgery hose. Take care of yourself, Uncle Al. Give me a second, you guys. I got to get something. You got a half an hour at least, Lucy. The 7th will be 30 days without a roux. I am hoping their eggs are fertile today. Ooh, that'd be pushing it. Dawn, that would be pushing it. Because it's usually no more than 5 days. Yeah, they're not fertile. They're not fertile. Only takes 10 to 14 days for fertility to disappear. Is it just because you're changing out roux, Dawn? Wait them until they are infertile. They were fertile last week. I always heard 30 days for fertility to be gone. Yes, and swapping out their roost for a much larger one. Ah, okay. Then I need to hatch them for me to keep. My eyes are bad enough that I would have to use a magnifying glass to find out if the eggs are still fertile. That should be the last of incubating this year. Oh well. Yeah, you use magnifying glasses too. Okay. Yeah, when you get our age, when you get old like us, yeah. And Dawn, if they're not infertile, then I'd wonder if you got a male that is acting like a hen after 30 days. And Andy wants to order some eggs still. You just have to find time to do it. And Steve says it's rumored that some hens can be 21 days, but that is unusual. Yeah. Oh, okay. If he is, then I have two hens, each in a separate cage with two eggs a day for the past 30 days. Okay. No wonder why your eggs are so fertile. Yeah, we're talking Copernicus quail drops. The almighty, mighty quail. Go lay down for a little bit. You know, you got to lay down for a little bit. Drops, do you raise quail at your homestead? Yes, Drops, we know how to vet sex the quail. Ah, he's not raising any livestock this year. He's selling his place in March and buying another one. Cool. And Dawn's quail are all feather sexable. And he says quail, quail, and here a quail, there a quail, everywhere quail, quail. How to sex a quail? Look at their face. Good morning, Dave. Yes, it is a warm day up here. Let me see how much the temperature's changed since I've been online. Dawn has 2-week-olds in the cage. Never had a baby get out of the top cage before and fly across the porch and run so fast. It was behind me when I turned around. Freaked her out. Okay, in Franklin, the sunny with temperature. Oh, it's up to 77 already. The wind is blowing from the south southwest at 1 mile per hour, and the current humidity is 63. And in West Plains, Missouri, it's sunny, and the temperature is 74. The wind is blowing from the south southeast at 8 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 57%. Okay, Dawn, you take care of the rabbits. And in Pope, conditions mostly cloudy with a temperature of 76. The wind is blowing from the east southeast at 7 miles per hour. The current humidity is 58%. And in Irving, Illinois, the conditions are sunny with a temperature of 79. The wind is blowing from the south southwest at 8 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 47%. And Dave, what are you prepping for? All righty, Don. Be careful. Yep, it's warmer up north than down south. Well, Dave, maybe they'll keep him. Doc says he's not prepping for anything except canning. He has all the preps he needs. That's good. C says, I don't mean to be political, but when he gets there, keep him. That's the same thing I said, Steve. Yeah, I gotta keep my mouth shut for a little bit because I almost went off. One reason why I don't do politics and religion. Yep. But drops, well, you don't have animals, so you don't have to worry about preps you have to do for wintertime for your animals. You're no fun at a family dinner than on the holidays, lol. David has no problems with Americans, just fascism. 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 I can't pronounce it right. No, see, drops, I'm different in person. I will discuss those things. But online is not the time to do it. Because opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one. There you go. She says, I don't even discuss in person. People take their opinions too seriously. Yeah, and the thing is it gets really bad when people don't realize that just because somebody's opinion is different than yours doesn't mean you have to be enemies. Uncover my face again. Exactly, drops. You know, everything is built on your perception. So how you see, truth can be one thing, but how you interpret it is colored by your life. So religion. I have a friend that became a newly convert. He started talking to me about it and told him the same thing. Me and one of my good friends said once before, it's best we don't talk religion if we want to stay friends. That's right. It's something personal. Religion and politics are your personal. Yeah, let's go on to back to prepping. So I'm going to kiss a fool. Nose is itching. When you go to different churches, sometimes it's best not to. Drop says, always, I will be working on the new indoor garden soon and starting a house remodel. Oh, that's getting it ready for selling. I am trying to figure out if I can make room in here for an inside garden. Right now, I don't have the room. This apartment is too small for me to begin with. I'm going to have to get my grandson over here and have him help me move furniture around. And Drop says, yes, prices went up 3 times when I bought it for. Next spring, it will be 4 times. I will buy a place further out in the sticks. That's cool. David says, I've been looking at cookbooks from the 30s and 40s to see what they used when things were not available. And Andy agrees. When she says small, she means a tiny is 5 times bigger. Exactly. A tiny house is bigger than this apartment. In fact, David, start looking at the oldest cookbooks you can find. Drops has got an old Betty Crocker cookbook somewhere. Another thing you want to look at is let me see if I can find it. One of the channels that I'm on. Tasting History with Max Miller. There you guys go. Here's one of the links. That there links to Tasting History with Max Miller. And he goes into some of the ancient ones. And I do mean ancient. Yep, Drops, that's a good way to do it too. And don't forget, look at the if you can get a hold of old church cookbooks, you get some good ideas there too. But it is about time for me to leave. And Drops, I know exactly what you mean. I started learning how to cook when I was 5 years old, so that's 62 years. Everyone have a blessed day. And if nothing else, I remember Katrina doesn't go live Monday. She goes live on Thursday this week. And Matt should be live sometime tomorrow, but he's been doing pop-up live, so you want to keep watch out on his channel. But everybody have a blessed day and start preparing for the winter.